Starting stream. Lauren, you are live. You are live.
A very good morning to you all. We have a huge turtle. Let's go.
Oh, really?
So it is Lauren here. It looks like a green from here, although could be a hawksbill. And we have the Hungarian Emil on camera and my boy Patrick on the surface. So I'm going to hold back a little bit and let Pat talk so we can try and get close to this. What I can now confirm is a male hawksbill. And let Emil get the ID. Over to you, Pat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's another one right behind it. I think it's a female. Okay, there could be some mating going on here. This is unbelievably exciting. Yep, we have a female hawksbill following the male.
Wow, what an exciting start to the dive this is. So welcome everyone, and if you do have any turtley questions, please send them in. If you are using Twitter, use that hashtag diveLIVE. So Lauren, do you want to let us know how you could tell that this one's a male?
Oh goodness, I don't even know where to start. Let me just start by saying we did go out on the boat today and we are at a place called Orange Canyon. I'm going to explain and show you exactly why it's called Orange Canyon later. But now we're following a male hawksbill. And if you look in between the two back flippers, you can see it's got a big long tail, and that is exactly how we know it's a male. The females do not have a big long tail, and I'm going to show you that right now. Emil, let's follow this female. Emil, there's a little, actually this could be, no, I think it's a female. So we're going to show you a female now, a female hawksbill, and you will see the absence of a tail in between her back flippers, and that's exactly how we know the difference. They're both hawksbills, which is just one of the 7 global species of turtles in the world. We are at 20 meters depth, so it is quite deep. So this might not be the longest of dives, but I can already tell you it's going to be exciting. So even if it's shorter, it is worth it. I am hoping for a longer head today. That is my ultimate goal. Something I have never seen in my life. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, that would be great. We did see one up here on the surface not too long ago, so we are really hoping that one comes down to say hello. So what an exciting start to the dive, and it looks like you have some pretty good conditions down there today, Lauren.
Oh, now I can say hi and breathe. So we did chase, well not chase, we did follow those 2 turtles for you. But now I want to just explain a little bit about where we are. So I'm going to look out for you for one of these big elephant ear sponges, which are bright orange. They're beautiful, they're glorious, and this is exactly why this place gets called the Orange Canyon. So Emil, let's go looking for a glorious sponge to show everyone.
Yeah, they are beautiful, these encrusting orange sponges, and they do get quite large as well. So they are, yeah, well, why this site is called Orange Canyon. And now, Lauren, we have a couple of turtle questions here to start off with, if you're happy to answer some.
Sure.
So we have Proud Cat Mama asking about mating and reproduction of turtles. How does that occur?
What was the question, sorry?
So just some information about mating and reproduction.
Sure. So, turtles are promiscuous. So the female will mate with many, many males. But it only occurs every few years. It doesn't happen all the time. And the females will leave their foraging grounds to go out into the deep to meet with the males. Now the males generally are much bigger, with a big long tail between their legs, which contains their reproductive organ. So the male has big claws on his flippers, which he will hook onto the female, and he will hold her shell. It's a very aggressive act. It's not a romantic moment, should I say. And normally between one male and female turtle, there will be many males circling and trying to fight for the female. So it doesn't happen every year, it's different for each species, but they mate, and the female is actually able to store sperm from many different males within her oviducts and choose the best sperm for her.
That's great. And we've got Graham watching along, so welcome to the big boss man. Pressure's on, Lauren.
What was that, sorry?
Graham's tuning in today, watching along, so big shout out to Graham. So it looks like we've got a trumpet fish right here.
Oh wow, that one is absolutely huge.
Yeah, it looks like a thick boy.
That is almost about, I would say, 80 centimetres.
Wow, so that is just over 2 feet. That's a big trumpet fish. Now, they can reach lengths of up to 1 metre, so almost over 3 feet length.
I've never seen one this big, actually. And with these guys, they are the ultimate hunters. Stealth is their name and persistence is their game. They really know how to hunt and they won't give up. Normally, they are a little bit smaller than this, but they do disguise themselves in amongst the gorgonians and whatnot, so you can't really see them. They are also able to colour change, so they can blend in with their background, which also includes other fish. Now, Emil is pointing something out. Ooh,
oh, wow.
Wow! We have a huge crab.
Yeah, this, do you want me to get the identification guide out for this one, or do you know the species?
Of crab? No way. I definitely do not know the species. You can try. I imagine it'll be quite difficult, but this crab is huge. Oh, wow. I think this is the first time we've been able to show a big crab like this.
Yeah. So how big would you say that this one is?
Oh, I'm a little bit further away. Oh, wow. It's on the move. It's definitely much bigger than my dinner plate for sure. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, it's missing 3 legs on the right side. Are you able to see that?
Yeah, we can. So.
Oh, sorry, 2 legs.
Yeah, we can see, those 2 middle legs missing there. So crabs are decapods, meaning that they have 10 limbs. So we can see that this fella only has 8, which probably means that it has been in a bit of a terrestrial or mating dispute with another male.
Yay! It's not afraid of us at all. It's literally came out of its sort of hidey hole, which Emil spotted it in, and it's came out to say hello.
So, I'm having a very difficult time trying to identify this one. So
yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. There's so many crabs. It's not my area of expertise, identifying crabs, and I'm sure it will take you some time, so we can come back to that one.
I'm pretty sure it is a type of clinging crab, but as to the specific species of clinging crab, I'm not really sure. But we can see on the shell there that there is a few little white worm-looking things, and that is exactly what they are. So they are boring organisms that have actually used the shell of this crab as their home. So it is parasitic, it does damage to the crab, it will affect it, but it is not something that's going to kill it.
Wow, I can't even see that from where I am, so good job. So crabs are obviously in the same sort of grouping as lobsters, and lobsters we see a lot on diveLIVE. But crabs we do not, so this is an awesome find.
Yeah, and being crustaceans, that does mean that they have a hardened exoskeleton that's very easy to see here. And what they actually have to do is molt this. So obviously to grow internally, they can't push through this really hard thing. It doesn't grow with them. So they have to actually shed it off, and then they will use their mantle to regrow the shell. And that is how they grow.
Wow. What an exciting start. Not gonna lie to you all, I'm a little bit breathless here. 2 turtles right at the start. 1 male, 1 female. And now this huge crab. It's such an exciting area. The current's a little bit stronger, which is good for us, because that means there's always more animals to see when the current is that little bit stronger. So Emil, we're just going to go this way and try and show everyone the beautiful orange elephant ear sponges. We do talk about sponges a lot, but these ones are really beautiful, and it gives this whole dive site its name. So let's find one to show you all.
Yeah, and just while we're doing that, we have a few people here, Betty and Spass and Love Dogs, all asking whether crabs can regenerate these lost limbs.
I don't believe so. Pat, you might know more than that.
Yeah, so they can. So crabs actually sometimes, well, they are believed to, it's not been fully proven, but they are believed to self-automize, which means that they actually will drop their limbs off in times of pain and stress. And it can take up to a year for them to regenerate these limbs.
So they can.
Yes, very fascinating.
So we do have a really large elephant ear sponge here. It's bright orange, so I'm just going to get Emil to show it to you. And these sponges are all over the place here. They grow to quite phenomenal sizes. And this is obviously what gives the site its name. So it's just this one growing on the wall here. And it's obviously bright orange in colour. I don't need to tell you that. But these sponges are really integral to the sort of topography here. They're the second most dominant sessile organism next to coral. And they may look really boring. You may not be 100% sure what you're looking at. But this bright orange thing that's growing on the wall is actually an animal. Now, it's a very, very primitive animal, and it does lack true organs and true tissue, but all the same, it's an animal, and it belongs to a group called plethora, and that means pore bearing. It means it has lots of little holes, so I'm sure with Emil's amazing camera work, you can see all the little holes in the sponge. And they're filter feeders, so what they do is they draw in water from these tiny, tiny little pores or holes, and then they filter it out using bigger holes, which I'm sure you can also see there. And that's how they feed. So they filter the water, and they're so good at what they do, they're actually said to filter out all the bacteria of up to 99% within the water. So they're very, very good. And the household sponges that we all have in our house, I'm sure, to wash the dishes and such like, they come from this idea of the animal, the sponge. And a long time ago, it was actually the animals that were used in the households. They were removed from the ocean, dried out in the sun, and used to wash people's dishes.
That's crazy now that they have been replaced with domestic sponges, which is probably good because they are integral to reef ecosystems. Now, Lauren, do keep your eyes out for another turtle. I just saw one diving right above where you guys are. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But we have Betty asking, what is actually growing on that sponge?
I'm a little bit higher than Emil. Are you able to tell us what you see? What is it she's referring to?
I think just it looks like to the left there is another encrusting sponge growing on the sponge. So a little bit of spongeception there, sponge within a sponge. But it is a bit hard to tell. Yeah, so we can see lots of little pores there, all of those little holes, which does tell us that that is another sponge growing on top of the sponge.
Well, we are going to leave this sponge now and just travel a little bit. We are quite deep, and we want to lengthen the dive as much as possible for you all. But you're welcome to ask any questions you do have about sponges, because they are fascinating.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, a lot of people do think of them as boring as they just kind of sit there attached, but when you start to get into their biology and their modes of living, they actually are quite fascinating creatures, and they are a beautiful addition to a reef. They come in a whole range of shapes and colours and sizes, so they are beautiful.
Yeah, I think they're really fascinating, and their whole designs, you do get rope sponges, tube sponges, barrel sponge, all sorts of different types. And all these shapes are aimed to maximize the animal for the filter feeding. So typically the tube sponge, that's a design that helps them feed as much as possible. And they can actually turn over the whole volume equal to their body weight within 5 to 6 seconds. If you were to actually put your hand very close to a sponge, you can feel the small currents of them pulling the water in and then pushing it out. Right, I'm on the constant lookout for this turtle. The visibility isn't so good, I'm afraid, so it's not so easy for us to see very far in front of us. But we are on the lookout. It would be my dream come true to see a loggerhead.
Yeah, we're really hoping that we can fulfill that one for you. So we have Sophie asking, if it has no organs or tissues, what part of a sponge is classed as an animal?
Pat, you can answer this one.
Well, we refer to most sponges as colonies, as they are just a collection of cells together. So we can just in general, we will just say that the sponge itself is an animal, but it is really just a bunch of smaller cells all working together with a specialized purpose.
Thanks for that. It's a little bit difficult to talk when you're swimming that bit deeper. So we have shallowed up to around 15 meters, just so that we can sort of prolong the dive and save a little bit of air. This is quite a deep site and it's so beautiful. I'm just in love with this place, but it's a little bit better for us to be shallower so that we can save as much air as possible. So Pat, you might have to answer more questions for me today, but that's okay.
Fine. No worries at all.
That's why you're there.
Yeah. And just while we're talking about the conditions, Scott's noticed that there is a bit of a current. He wants to know how strong it is.
It's actually not that strong. There definitely is a current present, which is stronger than normal. But I would say it's weak to medium. It's not too strong, and there's a lot of plankton in the water. A lot today, which does reduce our visibility, but it's really not a bad thing. It's a great food source for so many of the animals down here. So it kind of brings the reef to life, if you like. A lot of the animals will specifically feed on plankton.
So we have a question here, but I'm happy to take this one if you would like, Lauren.
I'm just a little bit out of breath.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So Take Care wants to know, do fish actually drink water the same as animals do?
Yes, you can take that one.
So?
You can take that one.
Yeah. So fish actually do, they're constantly taking in water. That is how they breathe pretty much, is by filtering through water. And so fish have a lot of special adaptations that help them deal with all the salts that they are taking in. So they do have some water in their cells, so they do need water. But there's obviously a lot of salt in this water, so they have they're pretty much constantly urinating to get rid of the salt, and they do have specialized kidneys and other organs that really help to deal with all of the salt that they do build up.
Oh, thanks for that, Pat. So there is a lot of ocean triggerfish here, which really surprises me. I'm going to try and see if we can find one for you. Ocean triggerfish are normally quite rare, but there's a lot here.
Are they not schooling, but are they all in the same spot? Because generally we only see them solitarily, which means by themselves.
They're all in the same area, but they're not schooling. I did read that they can all come to the same area to clean. There are specific ocean triggerfish cleaning spots, so it could be around here that they come to clean. So I will let you know when I point one out. it's a little bit difficult to see off into the distance. Oh, horse-eye jacks. There's only 2 of them.
And yes, proud cat mama, you are correct there with sponges. They do only have a nerve net. They do not have a true nervous system. It is just a very, very primitive nerve net. So yeah, we got 2 horse-eyed jacks there. Maybe they have separated from their bigger school. We generally only see horse-eyed jacks when they are in quite a large school together.
Yeah, I was thinking that. It's really unusual just to see 2 horse-eyed jacks. I would love to try and find the fish of the day for you, Pat.
Yes. So just for everyone watching along, we do have a little running game, I guess you could call it, where we are trying to identify a new species every dive. Now, yesterday, Lauren was on fire. We got heaps of new species, so hopefully we can keep that going today. But what is that whitefish? I'm not sure whether you can see it down to the right here.
I was just about to point that out. It looks like it has the body shape of a snapper. I think it's very white.
Yeah.
And it's just hiding behind that gorgonian. I think Emil's got it for you.
Yeah, he's got a great shot of it, so I'll get the ID guide up.
I was just looking at that. I've never seen a snapper that is so bright white. It might not be a snapper, but it definitely has that body shape.
Yeah, dove definitely looks like a snapper.
I can't see really any other sort of distinguishing marks. The fins are a little bit darker. It could be a juvenile.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. So I was going to say it could be a grey snapper, but it doesn't have that marking around the eyes that we usually see.
Could it be a juvenile dog?
Potentially. Oh no, I think it is a grey snapper. So sometimes they do have a bar running across their eye, but I'm looking at it now and there's also ones that are just plain. And you said the fins were darker?
Yes,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think that's a grey snapper right there.
I'm not sure if we've ever pointed that one out before, have we? That could be a first.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, excellent. Now this place is just teeming with life, teeming with gorgonians, teeming with sponges. It is pretty difficult to just stay in one place. It's absolutely beautiful here, and I've wanted to visit this site for some time. I feel very happy. Oh, turtle! Looks like a hawksbill from here. Or green. Let's get a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah, so we can see that there to the right coming into view now. So this is, I think, the first time we've had 3 turtles in a dive.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get closer to get this species. I do think it's a hawksbill.
Yeah, so from back here I can see that it has got a serrated backside of its tail. I mean, of its shell, sorry, its carapace. So yes, this is another hawksbill, and it looks like a female. Yeah, a female hawksbill.
No, this one's a juvenile. So
oh, is it?
The first one was definitely a male. The second one was most likely a female, I think, and this one has got a very small carapace. So this one is definitely a juvenile. Did you get a clear shot of the side of the face?
Yeah, yep. So we've got the right-hand side of its face. Very good. Emil's getting that very nice.
Good. So it is going a little bit deeper, and we don't want to go any deeper at the moment. So as long as you're getting a good shot of that. Hawksbills are the most common species around here, but you do also get greens and loggerheads. I think that's swimming off. They're actually really camouflage around here. Okay, let's just show 2 ocean triggerfish down here, Emil. They look like they're flirting. And then we will have to wrap up the dive shortly. Emil has just signaled to me that he is at 50 bar. Can you see the 2 ocean triggerfish?
Yes, so we're just getting them now. So we can see they've got those very extended dorsal and anal fins there. And that is, oh, it looks like they are having some sort of interaction.
I think they might be courting. water here.
Yeah.
And it's really rare for us to see the ocean triggers. They are the largest of the species here in the Caribbean. And normally we just fleetingly see one off in the distance. But for some reason at this site, they're everywhere. Okay, so that was a short dive. I am really sorry about that, but it was really exciting. We are here at Orange Canyon, somewhere I have wanted to visit for a long time now. And we saw 3 turtles. And we obviously got to see the beautiful elephant ear sponge, so it was wonderful. So Pat will be underwater next at 11 a.m. Grand Cayman time, so stay with us and please join, and it will be at another new exciting site. So until then, see you later.
Thank you, Lauren. That was a great dive, and thank you all for joining in. I can't wait to be diving with you in a few hours.